everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our Bernstein Realty podcast, where we try to share information and great tips regarding your home or a future home. Today we have one of our wonderful agents with us, Meagan Bordelon. Meagan not only works all areas of Houston, but she also does remodeling herself and buys homes and flips homes as well. So our topic today is really going to be about the remodeling of a home and what adds value and what may be for your enjoyment only. I never want to say it doesn't add value, because there's different types of value. There's intrinsic value of what you just enjoy, and then there is real value of what you get out of real estate. So, so Meagan, share with us a little bit about when you look at a home and you're looking at the bones of a home, what you look at as you walk through it and think it would be a good home to remodel if somebody is looking at a home that they are going to remodel for themselves.
So I would say when I'm walking through a home, the first thing I definitely take notice of is the floor plan and layout. It has to be something that we can either tweak to make a certain way to get more improvement for the flow, or it has to even just have the square footage that we need.
Right.
Sometimes the entryway could be in a weird area that just is never going to work.
Yes.
Two-story houses, sometimes that stairway is just an eyesore and you can't move it. So those can be deal breakers.
You know what I always think of? I certainly have my little hot buttons when I look at a home, and one of my hot buttons is when I am sitting in my family room or my den, just the main family gathering spot. And if I look into a bedroom, it bothers me. That's almost a deal breaker. But what I've seen so many times is how people can turn the entry into the room, instead of looking into it, build a wall and make the entry into a side, so when you're sitting in the family room, you don't have a complete view of the bedroom. I'm always amazed that people have the visual for that. I personally am a mannequin shopper, right? I mean, if it's done, I can appreciate it. And if it's not done, it's like fingers on a chalkboard. But how to maneuver it is not always my strongest suit, for sure. And I know it is yours. So let's play kind of a little game. Let's talk about some things that you do to a home in the remodel, or others do in a home in a remodel, and does it add value or doesn't, or is it for your enjoyment only? Ready? Okay, so let's talk about the number one thing that most people want to update, and that is?
Bathrooms and kitchens.
Bathrooms and kitchens. So when people want to remodel the kitchen, you see today that most people are remodeling the kitchen and opening up the kitchen. What are some other really big hot spots of people's interest in the kitchen?
I would say obviously they love the open concept, but I don't see islands going away.
I don't either.
I don't think they're a trend. Islands are just very utilitarian anyways, and it's a great meeting spot in the middle.
Especially if it's an island and a breakfast bar all at one.
Yes.
So it's got the little knee space below it.
Yes, and I love what they're doing now with these islands. They're putting, there's always cabinets on the back side, but they're putting cabinets on the front side,
I was just going to say, yes.
So,
storage in that island is fantastic.
Yes.
So I have it on my front and my back, and I love it.
Yes.
So what other things? Eat-in kitchens, are you seeing that coming back today?
I think so. I think that the casual kind of eating is more popular than your formal dining still. So a lot of people do those banquettes or like a small little breakfast nook. I think that's always good. It's great for kids with homework.
Yes, I agree. I love the banquettes where the bench is built in and then you put a table up there.
Yes.
You know what one of my hot buttons is in a kitchen is the cabinets going to the ceiling. I'm not a fan of the fur down, the sheetrock in between the ceiling and the cabinet. So
that's like a 1990s thing.
Yes.
That was very popular, and that, to me, that just automatically tells me the age of the house
when
it has that.
Me too. Or when I go show a house, it says remodeled kitchen, but you still have the fur down, right? So I do love the double cabinets. And you know what I've seen a lot of people do today, if you don't want to gut the kitchen totally and the cabinets below are nice, you can just rip out the uppers and go all the way to the top. But the other thing is it makes the kitchen look so tall and nice,
Yes.
which I really, really love that.
Yes.
What else in a kitchen are you seeing?
So, this is a controversial opinion, but the pot filler.
Yes. A lot of people are thinking it's going out. I think it's cool, but a lot of people are saying it's going
Well,
out.
I think it depends on the size of the kitchen and
Yes.
how close your stove is to the sink.
Yes.
I toured a house the other day, and the stove was literally 2 feet from the sink.
Yes.
And I was like,
You don't need
I
a pot
will
filler.
just use the sink.
Yeah.
Why would you
Yes.
waste the money to put a pot filler here?
I agree
other than for
100%.
looks,
Yes.
you know.
And a double oven, I think whether, I'm not a cook for sure, but I do entertain probably twice a year. And for my family, and it is nice to have that double oven when you need it.
It is. I think that's great. And if you don't have a double oven, at least have a full size oven.
Yes.
These little miniature ovens
Agreed.
that you can't fit a turkey in, or it's just not going to
Agreed.
serve anybody very
Agreed.
well.
So let's talk about the bathrooms. There's so many components to talk about, but let's talk about the bathrooms.
Bathrooms.
primary bath.
Okay, so I think obviously you want a great vanity. Hopefully you could fit a double sink in there. If you can't fit a double sink, that's okay, but at least have enough counter space.
Agreed.
The pedestal sinks, only put those in a half bath.
Yes.
You need something to put your toothbrush on.
Yes, agreed,
And
totally.
So I think vanities are very important. Obviously that comes with storage as well.
Right.
Nobody wants a bathroom that doesn't have storage.
And a linen closet.
Yes.
You need to have a linen closet just to put your sheets and your towels in.
Yes.
Or it needs to be nearby that primary bath. For me, a real plus in a primary bath is a makeup area.
Yes.
Is the knee space. I'm seeing that less and less today, but I like it more and more as I get older. I like to sit down and in the morning and just have my coffee and just sometimes I just return calls there. It's like a second office. I just love having it. I think it's a huge plus.
Yeah, I've never had a buyer that complained about it.
Right.
So I think that's a value added. Now there's some interesting things they're doing to bathrooms now that I'm not quite sure are gonna translate in the future. For instance, the wet room. Have you seen that?
Yes,
Where
yes,
the
of course.
shower and the tub
I'm glad you brought that
are
up.
all glassed in, and it's kind of a polarizing opinion on both sides.
I agree. So there are people that like it, but I find that more people dislike it than like it. So tell the viewers a little bit what that is for those that don't know what that is.
So you basically, where you normally would just have a stand-up shower with all glass, they put a tub inside there.
Yes.
And I know it's a way to give you a tub and a shower, but I feel
It's a
like
space saver for sure.
I would prefer to just have a luxurious walk-in shower
Yes.
with a bench.
Yes. And I think about my tub, for instance, this morning. I think about being in my tub was just my time. And I wouldn't want to be in my shower taking my tub, right?
Yes.
So a tub is an important component as well. And the tubs today are really great, so no longer are there these big jetted tubs, they're more the air tubs, but the tubs today have a heater in them where they can heat the back of you and things like that, so it's really nice. And I'm finding today that even if your tub is not in your primary, well, it needs to be at least in your secondary, because there are tub people for sure.
Definitely people with kids. I know myself having little kids.
Agreed.
You're not going to be able to bathe a baby in a shower. I mean,
Agreed.
you can, but it's not going to be enjoyable for them.
Agreed.
So if there isn't one in the primary, you at least have to have a tub somewhere in the house.
I agree 100%. What are some other updates in a home that you think go a long way?
I would say in general, obviously the stuff you can't see is
Yes.
a big thing. Nobody likes spending their money on that, but for your home to last, and also it will save you money in the future.
So
for
what
repairs.
about, let me throw out some things and you tell me whether you think it's needed or it's not needed, or what your opinion is of it. Flooring. What do you think about the flooring? All one type of flooring all the way through? Are you okay with carpet? And what about different floorings throughout? What are your thoughts?
I think you should keep it somewhat consistent, especially, for instance, if your kitchen is connected to your living room and kind of your dining room, they have a flow. I don't think you should have 3 separate floors.
Totally agree.
Because it's going to make the room look choppy. I also think it's good if you have a corridor or a hallway to continue that flooring down there. If you want to put carpet in the bedrooms, I'm not going to say no.
Yes.
Just make sure it's a mid-grade carpet at least.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be Berber or something high-end, but something that's decent.
Yes.
And
something that wears well.
Yes.
You know what I tell people when they're going to put carpet in? I say, if you're going to put the engineered flooring in, if you want and you decide later that you want to put that same engineered flooring in those rooms that are carpet, it's sometimes hard to find the same dye lot and the same flooring exactly if it comes already stained and finished.
Right.
So I always tell people, buy some boxes.
Buy the extra and
store it so that you can have it, because people with young kids really do like carpet. Although once you've lived in a home with carpet and then you've lived in a home without carpet, I for one think it's so much cleaner and so much easier, no carpet. And what I also think is great is that the flooring choices today are so much more vast and affordable than they used to be. Even the new vinyl flooring that's out today is fantastic.
And it's also, I feel like, more durable. They've perfected it. They've researched and made these stain master qualities.
Yes.
That I feel like it's a lot better than it used to be.
I agree. And what else do you think that is, how about the lighting?
So lighting, I always say, is the jewelry of the home.
Yes.
And I think sometimes a quick fixture change can instantly upgrade an area.
Yes.
If you have the Home Depot builder grade light fixture, while it does the job, sometimes just changing it to something a little more stylish and higher end completely changes the
Even
room.
if it's just in special rooms, like the primary, or I always say the powder bath should be a jewel box.
Yes.
Right? What do you think about wallpaper?
I actually love wallpaper.
I love it too.
And they've actually designed wallpaper that's removable as well, which I think is amazing. If, let's say, you lease your home for tenants, and they want to have a little personality, you can pop that wallpaper up and then take it down when you move out, and then, the wall's back to normal.
Yes, I put some art on my in my elevator entry yesterday, some new art that I loved, and I saw the guy come hang it with a Molly bolt, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to replace that wallpaper. So the new wallpaper out is really great, and I think definitely wallpaper in special rooms like a powder bath and things like that are very popular for sure.
I agree. I think you have to be choosy of where you put it, because you don't want to go overboard. Mm-hmm. But I think if you choose something that is, I don't want to say not too taste specific, it's liked by a lot of people.
It is, and it keeps the walls clean. If you have a nice vinyl on there, it keeps the walls clean. Let's move to the backyard, or the yard in particular. So what are your thoughts about pool, no pool? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so if we lived in Florida, I would say everybody has a pool with a lanai and a cage.
Yes.
Here, I do have some buyers that only want pools, but I also have the other end of the spectrum of people with little kids or people with pets and want their grass space still.
Yes.
So I will say it's 50-50.
Yes.
And there's people who don't want the maintenance, because pools are an extra expense.
Right. I always say, with a pool, if you're going to put a pool in, try to put it in. Well, first of all, you want to see it when you walk in, because it is the centerpiece of the window, and you want it to bring the backyard in. But it is nice if you're able to gate the pool, right? So that when you have kids, they can go out there and you don't have to worry about their safety. So as long as the pool's in a place where it can be gated, and all the free-form pools today out completely, right? So more clean lines, rectangular.
More so for Houston, a pool chiller. Those are
I agree,
really
100%.
Nice.
They're so nice.
And they actually do not make your utility bill go up near as high as a pool heater does. And to me, the fact that you could still use your pool in those
hot
boiling months,
yes.
that's a big deal.
So it's not a bathtub anymore. It's a real refreshing swimming pool.
Which is what you wanted the pool for in the first place.
Exactly.
So if you're going to invest in that, I would say get the chiller.
Yes. And what about fountains?
Unpopular opinion, I don't think that they are worth the money.
Yeah, and they're a hassle.
Yes.
Unless they come with the pool. Mine comes on at 7 o'clock every night, and it goes off every night at 10 o'clock, just to keep the maintenance of the fountain going, and I love the noise.
Yes, I mean, aesthetically, they're very nice.
Yes, yes.
But maintenance-wise, it could be something that breaks.
Especially the freestanding pools.
Yes.
I'm constantly replacing, the freestanding fountain, I'm constantly replacing my pump on that.
Yes.
And what about landscape lighting? How do you feel about that?
So I actually love landscape lighting.
I love it too. We like the same thing.
Exactly. Well, your yard is another extension of your home.
It is. It is.
The few months we can entertain outside here, it is nice to
I
have.
love the landscape lighting. And as I walk from one end of my home to the other, and it's 11 o'clock at night, I can see the outside kind of dancing still.
It's not a dark hole back there.
But then at midnight it goes off, and it just looks like it's time to go to bed.
Yes.
Right? Because it totally turns off and makes a huge difference. So these are all things that I think are important for when you live in the house. Tell me some of the things that you, as you're showing customers around, some of the things that you think are kind of a must if they are going to sell their home. When you look at a home and it's dated, what are some of the things that you would tell them to do? I personally am never a fan. I'm getting ready to put a home on the market on Tuesday, and it's original condition. And if they're only going to do a little bit, it's probably not money well spent,
yeah, it's
right?
not worth it.
Yes. So
I tell people
because
that.
there are people that want to buy the home at a price that allows them to put their taste in the total home. So to me, it's either go in or go not. But what are the small little things that go a long way to show a home?
So, in my opinion, cleaning. Pressure wash,
Agreed.
Clean, clear out. If they at least can see the bare bones of your house, they can imagine themselves in there.
I agree.
You know, when it's cluttered
Declutter.
and looks kind of like a hoarder's house or, an old estate, that's kind of overstimulating for buyers when they're trying to figure out how they're going to live there.
I agree. So declutter, clean, and what are some other tips that go a long way?
I mean, obviously paint is a huge...
I think so too.
Because paint can make a room look bigger.
Yes.
If you have a dark room and you painted it bright white, it's going to look way larger than it did before.
Agreed.
So that is something I would spend the money on.
Yes.
Because paint makes such a dramatic change.
And especially if you have a room that has bold colors.
Yes.
Just to make it neutral. And then I think always if you have crown molding, houses move. When it gets hot, it moves. When it gets cold, it moves. So to go in and just seal up some joints and things like that.
Yes.
So,
I mean, half of our inspection reports is literally about caulking.
Sealing and caulking and caulking and
So
sealing.
that's a Home Depot trip for $5 for a thing of caulk, and you can do it on a weekend.
Especially in the bathtub areas and things
yes.
like that. It can clean it up so much. I agree 100%. Well, this has all been very, very helpful. Thank you very much for all your tips.
Thanks for having me.
Please tell everybody how they can reach you if they are considering looking for a new home or putting their home on the market.
My information is on the Bernstein website,
Perfect.
www.bernsteinrealty.com. And then also you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you're welcome to either email me, text, or direct message, or even just call if you want to chat.
And Meagan is super communicative, so the minute you call her, you're going to get a call back. So reach out to Meagan, and she would love to be of service to you. And remember, your home is
Our expertise.